Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and every single hero got changed in Season 9 for Overwatch 2. Every single one. Some are small changes, and some are massive changes like with Pharah. And today, we're gonna go over every single one. And to help you out, there's gonna be timestamps for every single hero, and if you could help me out, be sure to share this video with anybody that's wondering what heroes got changed. To start things off, we're gonna talk about the general changes, and first, I wanna just show you guys the projectile size increase. In case you're wondering, they increased basically the bullet sizes for projectile heroes and other things in the game. So here they on the screen if you're wondering what they were. The next general change is the ultimate ability cost rate increased by 10%, making ultimates a teensy-wincy bit harder to get. But the most talked about change is the regenerative passive for all the heroes, meaning that every single hero can now self-heal after not receiving damage for 5 seconds at a rate of 20 health per second. This includes all DPS and tank heroes, but in terms of support, their support passive role is changing to where they're still going to get 20 health per second, but after not receiving damage for 2.5 seconds. And the last role specific change is going to be for DPS heroes, because on top of being able to passively self-heal, they're also going to have a new role passive where dealing damage reduces the enemy healing received by 20% for 2 seconds. So this is really going to affect heroes like Pharmacy and other duo comps. And also note that the old passive, where whenever you get an elimination you get a faster reload, is now going to be going away. And the last general change is going to be to every single hero's melee damage, because they're increasing the damage from 30 damage to now 40 damage. But now let's look at all the specific hero changes. Now I will admit, most of these changes are just going to be health pool changes, but that's going to have a heavy impact on how a hero plays. Like Hanzo is a perfect example where in Season 8, you could one-shot headshot an enemy, but in Season 9, you can no longer one-shot headshot somebody. So to compare and contrast the Season 9 heroes to the Season 8 heroes, I'm going to be shooting this 250 HP Soldier just to show you how the hero might be impacted. Like maybe it takes less bullets or more bullets to kill a squishy hero. D.Va's the first hero up. Now, Baby D.Va's receiving a health increase from 150 health to 175 health. But for the Mecha's health specifically, they're going to be increasing the armor points by 75 points. And again, this is going to be a different health pool for Role Queue and Open Queue. I'll just have it on the screen, but just note 75 armor is increasing for both Role Queue and Open Queue. And the last change that is very hard to compare and contrast is the explosion maximum damage increased from 900 total damage to 1000 total damage. And the inner explosion radius increased from 4 to 6 meters as well. Doomfist is up next, and while he is getting a health pool change where they're going to be increasing it by 75 points, he is also going to be getting a change to his rocket punch where they're going to be increasing the maximum impact damage, like the initial contact you make with an enemy, from 50 damage to 75 damage, and the maximum wall slam damage is going to be increased from 30 damage to 40 damage. Junker Queen's going to be receiving 2 changes. The first is, of course, a health pool change where they're going to be increasing her overall health by 75 points, but they're also going to be changing her Rampage ultimate ability where the wound damage is going to be increased from 60 damage over time to 90 damage over time. Wait, that's actually such a big change for her. Mauga is going to be the first tank that is only going to be receiving health changes where they're going to be increasing his overall health by 100 points. And again, it's just his health, and it's also going to apply for Role Queue and an Open Queue. Orisa is going to be getting a change to her armor hit points, not her health, but her armor, and they're going to be increasing it by 75 points. And again, this is not her health, it's her armor, which makes her way more beefier compared to a tank that's only getting 75 health added to their health pool. Ramattra is going to be getting a change to his health pool where they're going to be increasing it by 75 points. And I think this is a good time to remind you that when it comes to just talking about a hero's health change, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting doing damage to the Soldier whenever it comes to Ramattra, specifically his Omnic form versus his Nemesis form, just to really show you if the health pool change is going to affect the hero or not. Reinhardt's going to be one of 2 tanks where he's getting an increase in his health and his armor, where they're going to be increasing his health pool by 50 points, and they're increasing his armor pool by 25 points. But it don't stop there, because his rocket hammer, you know, whenever he swings his big old hammer, the damage increased from 85 to 100 damage per swing. The wall impact damage whenever you charge somebody increased from 225 to 275, so really the only people that can survive his charge is Bastion, Mei, Reaper, and all the other tanks. Roadhog's getting an increase to his overall health by 100 points. So if you love the 700 HP Roadhog, you're gonna love that 800 HP Roadhog. Sigma's shield health, not his regular health, but his shield health is getting an increase of 75 points. Now, this is a little bit different than armor because shield can regenerate, but it's basically the same level of durability as regular health. Hey. Winston's the other tank that's going to be getting a change to his health and his armor, where they're increasing his health by 25 points and increasing his armor by 50 points. So he's going to be a whole lot beefier. And 2 changes are coming to his Tesla cannon and his primer rage, where they're increasing his overall damage from 60 damage per second to now 75. And whenever he ults, he's going to punch a little bit harder because they're increasing the damage from 40 damage to 50 damage. Wrecking Ball is just getting an armor change, where they're increasing his armor health pool by 75 points. And the final tank getting changed is Zarya, where they're going to be increasing her health pool by 75 points. Not her shield health pool, no, just her regular health pool. But they're also going to be increasing the primary fire beam width from 0.15 meters to 0.2 meters. Again, it's kind of hard to compare and contrast 0.05 meters of change, but that just means it's a little bit girthier, and we like girth around here. We've made it to damage heroes. Now, for damage heroes, all the health pool changes are just going to be the same in role queue and open queue, but Ashe is going to be the first hero up, where they're going to be increasing her health from 200 to 250, but Bob is getting a buff as well, where he does a little bit more damage, a 14 damage per second getting increased to 70 damage per second. They got my boy finally doing something. Bastion's going to be receiving just a change to his health pool, where they're going to be increasing it from 200 total health to 250, but you also have to account for the 100 armor that he has. So before he had 300 total hit points, but now he has 350. Our favorite cowboy that don't know his name's health is getting increased from 225 to 275, one of the beefier DPS heroes in the game, and his ultimate Deadeye is getting 2 additional changes, where the initial damage rate, like if you just shoot the gun right away, increase from 130 damage to 150 damage, but the damage rate for when you maximize the overall damage increase from 260 to 300. Echo's going to be getting 3 changes. The first is, of course, a health pool change, increase from 200 health to 250 health, but the focus beam's width increase from 0.2 meters to 0.25 meters. So similar to Zarya, it's kind of hard to compare and contrast the changes, but it's a little bit more girthy. And whenever you use your ultimate and copy somebody, the maximum health that you can get increased from 300 health to 350. So even if you copy that 800 HP Roadhog, the max health that you will get as Echo is only going to be 350. Wait, what is this? What, a Genji buff? I've never heard of this before. Well, he gets 2 buffs, actually. Health will increase 200 to 250, but his Dragon Blade ultimate swing recovery decrease from 0.9 seconds to 0.7 seconds, meaning you get an extra swing. But you also gotta consider, like, the health pool changes, and his overall damage is also getting changed technically, but hey, you get an extra swing. But here's the hero that I'm so hyped to see get changed, and it's Hanzo. Even though he's getting a health pool change, increase from 200 to 250, we don't care about that. We care about his headshot, because no longer will he be able to one-shot headshot a 250 HP squishy hero. Blizzard fixed Overwatch! But just to appease all the newly depressed Hanzo mains, they did buff the storm arrows, not the regular arrows, just the storm arrow ability, increasing the damage for each arrow from 65 to 75, and they're also going to be reducing the cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Junkrat's going to be receiving 2 changes. So the universal 200-250 health pool change, but they're also going to be reducing his grenade size from 0.25 meters to 0.2 meters. Again, it's hard to compare, but this just means that grenades coming from Junkrat are going to be a lot less likely to hit you, even though they probably will, because it just seems like you're a straight up magnet when it comes to Junkrat grenades. My favorite hero, May, is up next. What kind of changes do they got in the works for her? Oh, they're just changing her health from 250 to 300. Okay, I guess that's fine. Hey, at least it ain't like Hanzo, though. But now we've reached Pharah, where she actually got most of the changes, where this is a true rework. Because now she's gonna have a new ability called Jet Dash. This is gonna be taking her secondary fire ability. Even though this has no damage capabilities, you activate this ability with your secondary fire, and it basically leaps you forward with Pharah. That's really it. It has an 8-second cooldown, and it's just really that. It's a mobile ability. But now we gotta look at her existing hero kit, because her rocket launcher, her primary form of fire, is getting changed, where the recovery time in between shots decreased from 0.85 seconds to now 0.8 seconds. The projectile speed, like the rocket speed whenever you shoot it, increased from 35 meters per second to now 40 meters per second. And this is the big one. The explosion self-damage whenever you shoot yourself as Pharah decreased from receiving 50% of the damage to now receiving 25% of the damage, meaning you can rocket jump a lot more frequently. But now that you have a new horizontal ability, what's going to happen to the old horizontal ability, Concussion Blast? Well, I'm glad you asked, because they're going to be decreasing the overall cooldown from 9 seconds to 7 seconds, but the big change here is now there's going to be an explosion damage of 30 damage whenever you hit an enemy. So no longer will it just knock them back, but it will do damage to them. Now the explosion radius is going to be decreasing from 8 meters to now 6 meters, meaning that you have to be a little bit more accurate with your shots, and the overall knockback decreased by 10%. Next, let's talk about her jump jet ability, because you might notice there's a new gauge on Pharah's UI. Well, that's related to the jump jet ability. So now when you activate this ability, it's gonna give you back 50% of your hover jet fuel, but if you have all of your jet fuel available, it's still gonna give you that 50% with that little gauge that you see. That extra gauge is gonna get filled up. Now, you won't travel as high in the sky, because they're going to be reducing the vertical boost height by 20%, and they're also going to be increasing the cooldown to this ability by 4 seconds. And that's going to be devastating, especially when you look at the hover jet changes, because even though you can move a little bit faster because they increase the speed boost from 20% to 40%, now whenever you're in the sky, you have to drop all the way to the ground for you to recover your jet fuel. No longer can you just recover it while you're in the sky, meaning you can't really float. I mean, you still can float, but you can't float forever like how you could before Season 9. And the final change is going to be to her Barrage ultimate, where whenever you use this ultimate, it will instantly refuel your entire hover jet fuel gauge. Alright, with all of those changes to Pharah, it's refreshing to see Reaper's change, because he's only getting the universal DPS health pool change increased from 250 to now 300. Sojourn's getting 2 changes. Her health is getting increased from 200 to 250, but the secondary fire base projectile size decreased from 0.1 meter to 0.07 meters. So again, it's hard to show, but that basically means that you have to be a little bit more accurate whenever you try to rail somebody. Pause. Take a guess what kind of change Soldier's gonna be getting. That's right, his health's getting increased from 200 to 250. Sombra's also getting that same helpful change increase from 200 to 250. And Symmetra's also getting a change to her shield health. Wait, her shield health, not her regular health? Oh, her shield health's getting increased from 100 shield health to 150. And her primary fire beam width is getting increased from 0.2 meters to 0.25 meters. So just like Zarya and Echo's beam, it's a little bit more girthy. Torbjorn's health is getting changed, and not his armor, just his health is gonna get a bump from 200 to 250. Tracer's health is not getting the universal DPS health change, but it is getting increased from 150 health to 175 health. And Widowmaker, just like Tracer, is getting an increase of 25 points to her health, where they're increasing it from 175 to 200 total health. All right, we've made it to support, where, again, a lot of these changes are just health pool changes. Ana is the first one up, and would you believe it, her health is getting increased from 200 to 250. Baptiste, him as well, getting increased from 200 to 250. We love to see all the supports supporting each other with similar healthful changes. Brigitte's health is getting increased from, 150 to 200. Oh, we almost forgot about the armor pool. She has an additional 50 armor, so even though she has a total of 200 health, she has 250 total hit points. Oh yeah, and the damage with her rocket flare increased from 30 damage to now 45 damage. One of the few damage changes with these patch notes. And now we're back to the universal health pool changes. Illari's health got increased from 200 to 250. Kiriko got 2 changes, actually. The health pool change. Her health is now 250. Previously it was 200. But the base size to her kunai decreased from 0.18 meters to 0.15 meters. I'm laughing because on paper it seems small, but I know that's going to be a big change because now it's harder to hit the kunai because the kunai is smaller. She sharpened it a little too hard. Lifeweaver's health increased from 175 health to 225, but remember, he has 50 additional shields, so that means he has a total of 275 hit points. Here are some fun changes. So Lucio, of course, is getting his health increase from 200 to 250, but you Reddit Lucios are gonna have a ball with this one because the sound wave is getting 3 total changes. The damage got increased from 25 total damage to 35 damage, but the knockback increased by 12%, and the movement lockout duration also increased by 0.15 additional seconds. I just know Frogger's gonna terrorize even more people now. Mercy got some interesting changes. So her health got increased from 200 to 250. The Guardian Angel activation duration whenever you jump or crouch cancel got reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. And Mercy's sympathetic recovery passive is getting a massive buff, where previously you got 25% of the health that you gave an ally, but now you're gonna get 40% of the health that you gave an ally to yourself as Mercy, on top of the 20 health per second after now receiving damage for 2.5 seconds roll passive that everyone got. So this basically means that Mercy mains are just not gonna die. We're at the home stretch. We got 2 more heroes. First off, Moira getting her health increase from 200 to 250, but her Biotic Grasp, her Sucky Suck, or her secondary fire is getting changed as well, where now the damage got increased from 50 damage per second to 65 damage per second, and the radius at which you're able to suck a target is increasing from 0.6 meters to now 0.7 meters, meaning that you can be a little bit more off target and still suck the enemy. Pause. And finally, the last hero is gonna be Zenyatta, where they're gonna be increasing his health and shield. His health is getting a bump of 25 points. Previously it was 75, now it's 100. And his shield is getting a buff of 25 points as well. Previously it was 150, now it's 175. And those are all of the hero changes. Literally every single hero change in Season 9. And hopefully this video helped you. And if it did, please share it with somebody because there's a lot of changes. But until next time, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.